So we're just about ready. Liam Moore is the referee. Marcus Griffiths will be our video referee this afternoon. So we're all ready. St Helens against Hull FC. Hull FC, who have lost 16 of their 19 games this season, and St Helens, who have lost 5 on the trot for the first time in Super League history. The big question, Kyle Amor, is this the day that St Helens finally end that dreadful run?
Yeah, well, I think it actually is. You know, Morgan Knowles there leading the way with a good shot on Brad Fash. I think it has to start clicking for St Helens. Of course, you mentioned the number of returnees they've got today. Joe Batchel as well, he'll feature off the bench, but a win here will see them up to 4th. And with the returning troops that are coming in the next couple of weeks, it perhaps could potentially change the final third of the season after what has been a torrid second part to it. Well, Hull FC, they are improving. And they're playing at a bit of a free spirit at the moment. A 40-20 attempt.
Oh, that was nearly a really good kick. Well, it was a good kick, and young Harry Robertson slipped. It was Truman with the kick, but the 18-year-old recovered well. I think Harry Robertson at fullback has been the only shining light for St Helens, hasn't he, during this bad run? The fact that they've been able to introduce him, and we've seen, haven't we, what a talent he is.
Yeah, you're right. T. Ritz with half a break there. An important ankle tap that was. Well, Harry Robertson collects his 4th start since that derby game. Of course, was his debut. But I also think as well, I mentioned Noah Stevens. I like what he's brought this season off the bench. Some valuable game time in a season that's been a bit, well, it hasn't been a bit. It's been very stop-start for the Saints.
Morgan Knowles brought down midway inside the Hull half. The last one. And Dodd it is, who puts up a high kick. It was well taken, wasn't it? Good job he ducked, I think. It was Wanga Blake coming in there.
Yeah, Logan Moy.
Did well, Moy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Held! Release!
Both sides have seen their season completely disrupted by injury. Of course, it's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? Brad Fash, he'll never take a backward step. Very proud to captain Hull FC, of course, in Danny Houghton's absence. And they'll try and run it now with Carlos Tuimavave. What a servant he has been to the black and whites. But it is the last tackle, signalled by the referee, Liam Moore. They're still inside their own territory. And Truman again goes low this time. And it's well picked up by Robertson for St Helens. But yeah, Saints were absolutely well and truly trounced, were they? Second time he slipped.
Yeah, just loses his foot in there. Was Tommy Makinson. Big boost getting him back last week as well. But you talk about the number of injuries. Yes, we are talking about St Helens, given that the quality that they've had missing. But let's not forget as well what the job that Simon Griggs has had to do here.
Brilliant.
51 on the back of Leon Rowan. That's more than any other club. How he keeps it all together.
Yeah, been tough for Paul Wellens, hasn't it? Rookie coach in his 2nd season. But yeah, trounced 46-4 against Lee. Hardly imaginable for Wellens and for Saints. Dodd goes high on the last. Moy, he takes it well. Takes it well, but I think that's going to be...
T. Ritson gets that one all wrong, Stuart.
He does.
And Moy looks like he could be a little bit hurt here. The kick from Dodd was probably about 15 metres from where he would want hit, where he would have wanted it. But he takes him in the air. It's a penalty.
Yeah, I think he's all right. Logan Moore, but
both compete for the ball. It's going to be tackle 1. Let's not overreact.
Liam Moore's, you can hear the referee saying, let's not overreact.
Well, this FC crowd don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any malice in T. Ritson, is there?
No, not at all.
Got it all wrong.
Just got it wrong, you're right.
2. Move down!
Well, it's Hull FC will start this set. You just see the pictures there. They're both competing. Liam Moore deems both looking at the ball.
It'll fire Hull up, that's for sure. It's already fired up the fans, and I think they've knocked on there.
Yes,
they have, Hull FC. You can't afford to do that in your own half. Let's have a look.
You just see there, Yusuf Aidin tries to promote the ball on tackle 2, coming away from his own end. It's a sloppy mistake, a shake of the head from Griggs.
Yeah, I mean, he really does deserve a medal, Simon Griggs. Thrown in at the deep end this season, and he's steadied the ship. And although Hull have been losing, the margin of defeat has been close in a number of games over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 points, 2 points, 8 points. They're still losing. But of course, Hull FC are looking forward to 2025. This season is all but over, but St Helens very much still looking towards a playoff.
I think there's a manner in where you could lose, and all too often this season it's been disappointing for the black and white fans to watch, but pride restored potentially.
First chance for either side. It's coming to St Helens. Dodd with a dummy, and good tackle coming in there from Walker and from Morgan Smith, and he's right on the line. St Helens threatening. Darrell Clark. Parsi. Can he stretch over? He's right on the line. Ignatius Parsi. It's the last one. Clark tries to go on his own, I think. No, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. That was... I don't think that's the cleverest play in Darrell Clark's locker.
No, he just sees there that Jack Walker isn't set, so he tries to sneak over. But what about that for line speed from the Saints there? Darrell Clark, Matty Lees, all leading the way. These are difficult carries now for FC.
I did it in, who tries forward. They're trying to get away from their own line.
Surrender! Stand now, free, wait!
Of course, they have beaten Leeds and they have beaten Wigan here at the MKM Stadium.
4, move! On the way again.
Here is Brad Fash.
Okay, now again.
Walker does well. Tweema Vardy.
Move!
That was good stuff. This has been a great set, this from Hull FC, considering they started right on their own try line. With a ball. Offside. Ball went forward, I think.
Well, St Helens, Stuart, they did really well, but they just switched off.
They did. They were.
It was it was Will Gardner who makes the initial break. Then they ship the ball, flick it back inside to Tweema Vardy. And the kick here. Liam Moore deems that it's offside, but T. Ritson goes looking. He's well met there. Tackle 1 gone.
Yeah, well, it was forward, wasn't it? Yeah, but Ritson and Robertson were caught in two minds, and Hull went the whole length there. That was really encouraging with ball in hand. And I've noticed, certainly in the losing run that St Helens have suffered, that teams are attacking them out wide. It seems to be a common play, and it's paid off. I mean, you look what Lee did to them last weekend.
Yeah, Lee are one of the best teams in the competition at moving the ball.
Oh, off the cuff, outstanding, yeah. Knowles. Here is Matty Lees. Been a rough and tumble first 8 minutes. Last tackle. Just inside the Hull FC half of the field. It goes back to Lewis Dodd again. And this is a good take. Really good stuff there by young Harvey Barron. He was under pressure and he watched it and watched it and watched it and took it. Superb.
Well, it wasn't just the take there from the young winger. It was his ability to bounce and find space back through the middle of the field. A penalty now given away. And it's Blake.
Offside.
Langer Blake. Just letting Hull FC off the hook here. He's an absolute mile off, Stuart.
That's probably the most offside that any player's been offside this season. Left Liam Moore with little option. They're trying to move it again. That's a cracking tackle. Ben Davis it was with the tackle. Here's young Barron.
Move back up.
They're both giving it a real go in these early stages.
Well, Brad Fash there with another neat carry. Gets on the inside of Clark.
He's an old-fashioned warrior, isn't he? Brad Fash.
They're on the back foot here. Stuart Aiden now takes over. They're just a little bit missing the roll, Saints.
Well, they're controlling the ruck, aren't they? They're certainly controlling the speed of the play of the ball. Here is Truman. A mistake by Briscoe. Briscoe put it down, and then Blake couldn't get hold of it, so Saints will get the ball back. Some errors from Hull SC with the ball, but when they do have it, there have been some encouraging signs.
Yeah, perhaps Briscoe was thinking that he was going to get dropped under there. He's caught in two minds. And it's a mistake off the back of two decent carries there from the middle pack of Fash.
Just having a look back, you know, Tom Briscoe, 417 career games, 17 years as a Super League player. Well, the St Helens coaching staff looking on. 10 minutes gone, 0-0. Yet to see very much from Saints with ball in hand. Whitley with the play of the ball. Here is Parsi.
Release, Brad back, come on.
Clark at dummy half. Knowles and Bay he'll have to go to ground there, otherwise he would have been pinged for obstruction. Couple of tackles left here maybe for the Saints. Knowles and Dodd, inside it goes for Matt Whitley. Whitley does well. Last tackle 12 yards away from the Hull SC line. Parsi and Knowles, they'll move it to this right-hand side, and Bay for Blake. Blake looks for support, and it wasn't there, and it goes straight back into the hands of Jordan Lane, and Hull now will break with Tom Briscoe. Briscoe offloads it. This is excellent. Superb stuff from the black and whites. Logan Boy involved. Then there's a high tackle. Well done, Hull FC. But Saints making a mess of everything in that spell of play.
Yeah, it was good pressure from Yusuf Aiden, but the space opened up, and Blake throws a blind ball back inside. And it's Tom Briscoe who comes up with it. And then the high shot from Davis, which means now St Helens will defend inside on their own 30-metre line.
Do you get the feeling that the Saints players are on edge?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about that, Stuart. People sometimes try and think they can solve problems themselves, both in defence and attack. And the message from Paul Wellens will be very simple. Just stick to the process, stick to the game plan. Because at the minute, there's a couple of people out there just making it up as they go along.
Here's Walker, been impressive in the halves.
Stand! 3 line will do, boys. Matter, give me a foot.
Chance here for Hull. Tuivasa at dummy half. Morgan Smith involved as well. Moy and Briscoe. Good tackle from Blake, helped by Mbaye. Saints defensively have been okay so far. Truman inside for Fash, who will go up to the edge of the Saints 20. Morgan Smith feeds it back to Truman, and Truman's going to test T. Ritson on the far side. Well, it was well taken by Barron, but Ritson, to be fair, watched it all the way, and as soon as the Hull winger took the ball, he made the tackle.
Yeah, perhaps needed a little bit more in that set, did Hull FC. They're trying a crossfield kick. It's turned over in a decent position. If they can aim up defensively here, they'll get another crack at St Helens. Down where they want to be. But that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, high tackle. I mean, you'll have been through it in your career when you lose and you lose and you lose and you lose, and it's all about confidence and belief. And then you and I talked about that you become afraid to make an error, and it's like I don't know, it's like a set of dominoes, isn't it? On it goes.
Yeah, it's almost the mindset, Stuart. You get stuck in a cycle, stuck in a rut. But all it takes is a decent win. Sometimes it may be not even the performance, Stuart. Sometimes it's just the win to get that off your back and you're up and running. But I think what happens now in this part of the season, yes, a win is vital, but performances and improvement in performances given to head into the business end of the year is a necessity.
14 minutes gone, still waiting for the first points. And by inside for Sirinen. Fash in there to make the tackle. Always involved in everything, isn't he? Brad Fash, Lees and Knowles and Parsi.
Smart play there, Morgan Knowles just with a wide pass to Parsi, just trying to isolate one-on-one. Darryl Clark takes off now.
Yeah, and who's making the tackle but Brad Fash? Last one. The Saints got any tricks up their sleeve on this last tackle. And Bailly puts the ball up for Makinson. Makinson can't take it. Walker does. Lewis Martin.
Lewis Martin.
And Lewis Martin's had a terrific season, hasn't he?
Certainly has. He's been a shining light. We talked about him just before kickoff. And he does well there. Makinson arriving. He just takes it off him. Going back to Brad Fash, though, Stuart, as well, that with Herman Essay out, Liggy Sow, there was a big job on his shoulders. And so far, he's doing everything right inside the opening 15 minutes. Good footwork again from Walker.
You know for sure that Brad Fash won't shirk away from any challenge. He's a tough old nut, isn't he? Truman with the offload. There he is. Another good kick downfield. Robertson shadows it well. The 18-year-old
he's good on
does well. Still going. Yeah, eventually brought down. Whitson for St Helens, just 10 yards inside their own half. 15 minutes gone. 0-0. Tommy Makinson with the trademark run. Up to halfway. Here is Darryl Clark now. James Bell is on for St Helens. He's been a constant, hasn't he, Bell for Saints? Yeah. Played in every game but one. Here's Mbaye. And Mbaye finds Bell once more. Bell looking for a way through, and it was Truman in the end who managed to stop him. Aydin was there, Fash was there, and Mbaye with a long pass out to Blake. But that's terrific defence again from LSC. It was Tom Briscoe, the veteran, bringing down Wanga Blake. But again, with ball in hand, Kyle, not a lot coming from the Saints.
No, not so far. Just perhaps trying to feel the way into the game. It is a difficult place to come, regardless where Hull sit in the table. But they've not really had too many opportunities to put a full set together down in their red zone, 20 metres away from FC's line. And there's a better ball.
Here is Martin looking for a way through, but runs into Blake on his own 20. High tackle, given against Blake.
Well, he can throw his arms in the air all he likes. But the fact is, he's given away 2 needless penalties so far as Blake. And he just let Hull FC out of this part of the field. And just start, each minute this game goes on, this FC side will start to believe they can get something here.
Yeah, Jordan Lane. Only ever present for the Black and Whites this season, a disruptive season. And Kyle mentioned Leon Ruin, who'll make his debut from the bench on loan from Leeds. He will be the 40th player that Hull have been forced to use this year. Briscoe and Martin there. Well, they're having a go, aren't they? They're moving this ball around. Moy. Here is Jordan Lane for Hull FC. 2 tackles left in the set. They're midway inside the St Helens half. Truman.
5. Move, get back.
Gardner was the one who was brought down. Morgan Smith again for Truman. Truman aims the kick towards Tommy Makinson. Well, he did well there. Under pressure from Briscoe. That's a good take from the veteran winger. Of course, he'll leave St Helens at the end of the year to go and play for the Catalan Dragons for the next 2.
Yeah, super take there from Tommy Makinson, and now gets his hands on the ball, gets his head into the next play. But a decent end to the set there from Hull FC. If you think from where they started when that penalty was given away, It just means now that they're able to front load their energy defensively.
Hold, Brad.
Dodd and Whitley, but there's nowhere to go. Look how many Hull players, 1, 2, 3, 4, involved in that tackle.
There's another one of those that returned last week after 8 out. Matt Whitley started his St Helens career in great fashion.
St James.
Well taken by Barron once more.
Good chase from Davis as well.
21 years of age. You go through the whole side. 18 Moy, 21 Barron, 19 Martin. Go on. 23 Gardner, 23 Iden, 20 Bamford, 20 Laidlaw. It's a young side, but you would think it augurs well for the future. And here is Matty Laidlaw, the 20-year-old. Hull through and through, playing his amateurs rugby at Hull Dockers just down the road. And here is Briscoe.
I'll tell you something, Stuart. They're exploring this right edge of St Helens. They're fancying themselves down this side of the field. A sloppy pass there. Walker on tackle 5.
Runs it. Great stuff from Walker. Brilliant. He's got support from Truman. If he needs it, Truman can't hang on. The ball goes backwards. It's still on the last, and Saints survived. But Walker there, he had a look. He changed his mind. He dropped his shoulder. A little sidestep, and for a moment, Saints were in bother.
Well, it opens up far too easy. He looks to shape the kick. Matty Lees and James Bell. He just slices in between those. And on another day, this could have been a try, but the scramble back from St Helens is good. But the fact that they were opened up easily through the middle of the field will be a concern for Wellens.
I'll tell you what, we've played 20 minutes, so midway through the first half.
There's nothing between these.
0-0, no, but Simon Griggs will be much the happier coach. There he is, Paul Wellens, much to muse about, the Saints coach. And By looking for a way through, finds Blake. Blake now for Robertson. Robertson does well, still going, Harry Robertson. He's been destructive in the academy and the reserves this season with runs just like that. Here is Clark and Bell. Bell looking for support, going on his own. There's a little bit of momentum now behind this St Helens attack. On the last, Clark feeds the ball. Now, is that a try? Is that a try from Matty Lees? Has he managed to scramble under the post, or was it a double movement? Liam Moore reckons that Lees has scored. Saints have hit the front, 21 minutes gone, try given on the field. The video referee, Marcus Griffiths, will have a look.
It's tackle 5. We have an on-field decision of a try, so we're just checking grounding and making sure he gets the ball to the line. So at this point we can see that Clark has passed the ball to Lees. So does he get the ball to the ground? So from this first angle, we lose the ball at that point, but we've not yet seen it on the ground. So we will take camera 9 and see if the ball ever touches the ground. So we'll go nice and slow here. So the ball is up at this point. There is a knee under the ball there. The ball remains high. We then lose the ball. The ball could have hit the ground at that point. So this might help us. So the ball is high at this point. So the ball remains high. So the ball at no point has ever got to the ground. So we'll just confirm it on that previous view. So at this point, Moy has his hand underneath the ball. We know from the previous angle that the ball remains high and doesn't get to the ground. His arm stays under the ball at that point and never hits the ground. I've made a decision.
Well, the decision is coming here. It may well be a controversial decision. The video referee has made the call. It was a try on the field, but it's not been given by the video referee. Matty Lees was convinced he got the ball down. The St Helens bench not very happy with that, but the referee, the video referee, took a long, hard look. Try or none, Kyle Amor.
Well, Marcus Griffiths deems that it's no try. Matty Lees convinced himself that he got it down, but it matters not. We have to credit Hull FC for doing enough.
It was Logan Boy, wasn't it? The young 18-year-old who seemed to get his hand under the ball. Well, it's a big call. It remains 0-0, 18 minutes to half-time. All adds to the drama.
Third. Move. Matty back. Hold. Hold. No.
Let's have a look.
You just see there, Moy's hand underneath that. Marcus Griffiths overruling the on-field call of a try. And it remains 0-0. And a big kick here from deep inside their own half from Smith. And it bounces over the head of Ritson.
And Ritson picks it up though. Can Ritson get clear?
A wicked bounce there for Ritson. It falls kindly for him as he turns around.
But what a defensive effort that was from Logan Moy. There's a big difference in size between Moy and Matty Lees, believe you me, but the 18-year-old fullback, outstanding. And this is only his 10th game, by the way, for Hull FC. So 17 minutes to half-time, 0-0 it remains, and young Noah Stevens is on the field.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him. Not only does he ride that tackle, meets it straight on, refuses to be put down, another 10 metres. Bell now ball playing.
Bell looking for a way through. Last tackle again as St Helens beginning to build up a bit of momentum here. Clark and Dodd puts it through. Whitley tries to go through, but again to the rescue, it's young Logan Moy. Twice in 3 minutes, the teenager has saved Hull from a St Helens try.
Yeah, Daryl Clark jumps, and it's Lewis Dodd's kick. He's perfect weight. The change from Whitley, but the youngster Logan Moy just keeps his legs moving, identifies the threat and gets rid of the ball.
Okay, let's go. Shot clock off.
Ooh.
Great take.
Only just from Moses and Bay. Midway inside the Hull half of the field. Play on. Bell. Looking to offload. But Hull defensively have just got better and better and better in recent weeks. Remember the heroics in the last 10 minutes or so defensively when they beat Wigan. It was a mighty effort. The defensive efforts have been as good so far today. Here is Dodd now, and Robertson just manages to hold on to the ball.
Just on your point there, last week, yes, they lost the game, but they kept playing, didn't they? And if the kick had been converted inside the final 5 minutes, they had an opportunity to draw in the south of France, a difficult place to go.
Clark, last one again. Dodd puts it high towards the line. Ball bounces, and the ball was knocked on, I think originally by Ben Davis, and certainly by T. Ritson. Hull survive again. St Helens have built up a little head of steam in the last 10 minutes, but it's all come to nothing. Still 0-0 with about 14 minutes to half-time.
Well, they are improving. The last sort of 7 or 8 minutes or so has belonged to St Helens. They're playing in the right part of the field. But you're right, Stuart. The black and whites are just doing enough at the moment to deny any St Helens attack getting over their line. There's Chiaki Chan on loan from Wigan. Of course, he collects today his 7th appearance for Hull FC.
Here's Tuivasa, brought down by Whitley. Morgan Smith it is with the kick downfield. That's a really good kick. Down the touchline. Here is Robertson for St Helens. Now Tommy Makinson.
One. Move! Back the 10 boys back.
26 minutes gone, 0-0.
Two. Move, work out, boys. Hold.
Chan with the tackle does well.
Hold.
St Helens here, 3 carries, 30 metres
6
gain,
again, on the
just
ball.
direct in behind the ruck. 6 again called, it's another
Oh,
carry
here's
from
Clark. Clark with support from Robertson. Robertson with support from Dodd. Now that is old style St Helens, and this time they do hit the front. Terrific try, played down the middle. Clark involved, Robertson involved, and finished by Lewis Dodd. It's taken them 27 minutes, but Saints hit the front.
Yeah, they certainly do, and they go straight up the guts of Hull FC. It was a T. Ritson carry, a good one at that, followed up by Makinson, and that created the momentum. Darryl Clark sees the space in and behind the ruck. They're far too wide at a defender. Robertson pushing through, and he's got a choice to left and right. He goes left, Lewis Dodd pushing through in support, and Lewis Dodd gets a try, his 6th of the season. And it's taken them 27 minutes, but it was coming.
A relief, I would imagine, for St Helens as well. Tommy Makinson, in the absence of Mark Personal. Interesting. Liam Morgan's having a word with Tommy Makinson, basically saying, hurry yourself up. Taking too long. Fair enough. So Makinson puts over the kick, and St Helens lead by 6 points to 0. It was a great try, and as you said, probably just about St Helens deserving.
Yeah, it was just hard direct carries, nothing flash at all. You know, we talked about their moving the ball in play, but this is St Helens when they're at their best, flooding through the middle, making it quick, making it uncomfortable, and having choices to finish off. Lewis Dodd collects the try. Grix will be happy so far, 28 minutes in.
Of course, Lewis Dodd was dropped, wasn't he? He was left out of the side after Saints suffered that run of defeats, and he's only got his place back in the side because of the injuries and suspensions.
Oh, we see it so often, don't we? One man's loss is another one's gain.
Can he take the chance?
Well,
to prove to Paul Wellens, you can't afford to drop me again.
Well, right now, his score is the difference. He'll be delighted for Dodd.
2. Move, back up.
Just thinking back though, 11 minutes to half-time, Hull 0, St Helens 6, and for all the half chances that Hull FC have had, I can't remember them actually having the ball inside the St Helens 10, close to the St Helens line.
Yeah, no, that is a fair call. Darryl Clark now, he just seems to be growing into the game the last sort of 10 minutes.
4. Move down.
Stevens brought down just inside Hull FC territory. Bell now, and By finds Robertson, always a willing runner, isn't he? Young Robertson still going, still going. Ball goes all the way along the ground, picked up by T. Ritson. T. Ritson looking for a way through.
5.
Last one.
Some tired bodies, so some warning signs here for FC. The falling off tackles, not quite completing them.
Give 10.
Kick high from Dodd.
Barron goes up for it, takes it well under pressure.
Surrender. Stand.
Well, just, you've got the luxury of being sat up high. The body language from the Hull FC players, particularly through the middle of the field, is they look like they're struggling at the moment.
Lewis Martin, it was brought down. They're struggling to get out of their own territory at the moment, Hull FC. Trailing 6-0.
It's a better carry there to Mavavi.
The veteran, 32 years of age. 9 years he's been here. Arguably one of the best overseas players in the Hull FC Super League history, I would argue, as Briscoe is brought down. Last one, and again they're kicking from midway inside their own half through Truman. And it's taken by T. Ritson. Good tackle, but a good chase as well, wasn't it? Ed Chamberlain, one of many Lee players who'll be playing here next year. Already made the move permanent. Chamberlain, Hardacre, Holmes, Asiata. Of course, all the rumours as well that they want to sign Lachlan Lamb as a marquee player. Lamb was telling us on Thursday night that a decision on his future should come in the next week or so.
Yeah, Richie Myler having a raid on the Leopards, but for now it's off passing.
Stevens, what a good tackle that is from Truman on Noah Stevens. Here's Mbai, goes towards the corner, and Martin, nothing he could do about that because Tommy Makinson was lurking, wasn't he? He was right on the shoulder of young Lewis Martin, but Saints now beginning to put their foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
Another set close to the hull line.
Yeah, neat little kick there from Moses Mbai off his left boot. And you're right, saw over the years there that Tommy Makinson can finish in the tightest of spaces. Perhaps Martin just thought he can't take a chance and just ushers that ball over. It's 6 more, 10 out.
The Saints will want to make all this pressure pay. Turn the pressure into points. They have 6 of them. Can they add to that? Clark it is. Now Mbai. Ball goes to ground from Sirenen, but they were offside. But Jake Truman was offside. Penalty given.
It's a let-off as well, because Sirenen goes without the ball. But Jake Truman, just at the bottom of your picture there, he is offside.
Hit the line, boys, please. Hit the line. Line.
The Saints have got to make it pay here, you feel, Kyle.
Yeah, you'd have to say so, wouldn't you? Just the last sort of 15 minutes or so has been Saints just upping their ante a bit. And FC with a scoreboard of 6-0. They're still in this contest, absolutely.
Bell. Good tackle coming in once more from Iden. Clark at dummy half. They'll go to the left-hand side. Dodd now, and here is Robertson. Robertson and Ben Davis. Yeah, that's superb defence, isn't it? Harvey Barron and Logan Moy, the teenagers at the back, have been superb. Iden with a big hit on Noah Stevens, and defensively, without a shadow of a doubt, Hull FC are fired up. Big hit. Bell out the back door. Dodd looking for a way through. Truman in there to make the tackle. Last one, they defended manfully on their own line. Mbai to Sirenen, and Makinson will go in at the corner. Saints do make the pressure pay. And a historic try for Tommy Makinson as he now draws level with Ryan Atkinson, 7th in Super League's top try scoring list. Try number 186 in Super League for Tommy Makinson, and try 202 in his career, and Saints lead 10-0.
Yeah, the numbers keep coming for Makinson as he joins Ryan Atkins there, 7th all-time, top try scorer in Super League. But it was beautiful ball movement. I just like the deception there from Moses Mbai. Shapes the kick, knowing that he's got Wonga Blake on his shoulder as a genuine option. The ball out the back is crisp, and the pass from Sirenen to Makinson. Well, there's the space, and there's the try. It's 10-0. And again, just like I said, when Lewis Dodd scored, you felt, Stuart, that it had been coming. A plethora, a wave of attack from St Helens. Just means there that inside the final 5 minutes, they just nudge a little bit further ahead here. Difficult kick from Makinson, though. 22 away, right on the sideline.
I think relief for the St Helens coaching staff. Paul Wellens with Matty Smith and Laurent Fresineau, the French coach, of course. But St Helens have, as I mentioned, they have been building up and building up and building up to that, haven't they? Hull have defended in the main really well.
Yeah, it was a nervy start, wasn't it, you felt, from St Helens? But they settled into the game. It took them probably 20 or so minutes, early 20s, you felt, that really they started to take a grip of it. Makinson.
Let's see what he can do off the touchline. Can he convert his own try? That one, but it looked good when it left the boot, and it just swung like a baseball curveball, but the wrong side of the post for Makinson. 10-0 it is, 4 minutes to half-time. Kyle Amor.
Yeah, Just keep your eyes on Moses Mbai here. The little drop of the ball shapes the kick. The left edge of FC. They take the bait. They come jamming in. The ball out the back. And Makinson just pushes that kick wide. It's 10-0.
So Walker will get us underway. Hull with the ball have been impressive in stages, but they've huffed and puffed a bit, haven't they? And as we mentioned, they've not had the ball once inside the St Helens 10-metre line in this half, but it's only 10-0. And Hull FC is still very much in this game. Just less than 4 minutes to go to half-time.
You feel, it sounds silly saying it, given that there's still a full half and 5 minutes left in this one. You feel that Hull FC have to score next, Stuart, I think. There's another try here. Just look at them flooding through the centre of the field.
Well. He has had more and more of an influence, hasn't he? Offloads the ball to Robertson. Robertson looking for support. Has to hold on. Last one, Hull. Can they hang on here? A Saints on a roll. A Saints going to go back to back and Mbai throws that towards the line. Taken well by Martin, and Martin's nearly away. Lewis Martin, 19 years of age, huge talent, and he was nearly away.
He's having a fantastic game this afternoon.
So is Logan Boyd.
Lewis Martin being very, very impressed with him. The penalty now given. Stevens just in there far too long. But the work that Tom Briscoe and Jake Truman do to allow him to take that catch clean. And he does well, gets the set rolling, puts St Helens onto the back foot. And a penalty has to be given away.
Yeah, Ben Davis, the guilty man.
Leo Ruan onto the field now, wearing shirt number 51.
Yeah, a debut, young Leon Ruan on loan from Leeds for the rest of the season. Another young man, just 21 years of age. But what can Hull FC do in the closing stages? Here is Chiaki Chan. Got a full set now inside the St Helens half. Truman. Here is Ruan with his first touch as a Hull FC player. Only joined 48 hours ago, but because of all the injuries and Liggy Sound suspension, thrown in at the deep end. Truman inside for Jordan Lane. Eventually brought down by Clark. The tackle was missed by Sirinen. Here is Truman now. Ball with nearly knocked on by Jack Walker. But look how close they are for the first time to the Saints line. Truman for Ruan. First time they've been this close to the Saints line. Last one, Barnforth and Walker. Well, there's nowhere to go, is there?
Yeah, sloppy end to the set.
Ed Chamberlain was just stuck, wasn't he? He was, to say about kicking down the barn door, he was stuck at the barn door. He had no key to unlock it. And St Helens, defending their try line for the first time in the half, survived. Just over a minute to go in the first half. It's Hull 0, St Helens 10.
Yeah, and another solid carry from out of backfield there from T. Ritson. We'll just question what the method, what the idea that Hull FC were doing down that end of the field. They hadn't been down there. They come up with nothing.
Sirinen turned 31 this week. Curtis Sirinen. You were still playing at 31, weren't you? Just. Kyle Amor lost for words. Well, there we go. It's a set restart. The Saints have got 30 seconds to try and perhaps put some more points on the board. 10-0 they lead. Bell. This may be the last opportunity. All a bit cumbersome there from James Bell. Clark, and they go the short side. Dodd, it wasn't the best of passes, picked up by Davis. Davis looking for a way through, and that might just be that. And there is the hooter for half-time. Well, it's been an intriguing first 40 minutes for sure. Paul Wellens will be happy that they've kept Hull FC out. He'll be happy that they're leading by 10 points to nil. Won't truly be happy, I wouldn't have thought, with the performance. Harry Robertson has been outstanding, hasn't he, in the first half. And Saints with tries from Lewis Dodd and from Tommy Makinson. And they lead at half-time. We'll be back to analyse it all. Saints in front, 10-0.
A safe score to be at. The next try is probably crucial in terms of threatening this game to go the distance, but based upon what we've seen, I think St Helens, Stuart, are pretty much in control. Big 40 needed here as Jack Walker gets us underway.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Hull's resilience, certainly. And they just need to add a bit of flair, don't they, to their attack, and maybe a little bit of magic, a special moment to get themselves back in this game. Yeah, I agree with what you were saying, probably around 5 minutes before half-time, that Hull have to score next.
Yeah, I just think towards the back end of that first half, the middle unit of the black and whites just looked like it was tiring. And it just allowed Saints to roll down the field.
Just shy of halfway. Here is the ever-willing Noah Stevens, 19 years of age, his 10th straight game in a Saints jersey.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him this season. He's brought something different to field.
Give 10 boys, yeah.
Dodd it is with a high one, but every time Harvey Barron has been tested, he's come up A1.
And he takes that well again. To Mavavi. Just getting an early touch in this second half from him, coming away from his own end. He just gets away from 20 metres or so. Truman now. He's got a right edge defence there from Saints. I think it's Morgan Smith down receiving treatment.
Yeah, Jordan Lane it is. Played every game, real workhorse, isn't he, Jordan Lane? That's why we've got this stoppage in play. Just talk to me a little bit about Hull FC. I mean, it's been a season of turmoil, hasn't it? They've run just the 3 games. Simon Griggs has come in and done a fantastic job under trying circumstances. They brought in Richie Myler, haven't they, as director of football. They brought in just got on the wrong end of it, didn't he? They brought in John Cartwright, the veteran Australian coach for 2025, and you know they're already stocking up on the squad. Is it good enough from what you've seen for next year and beyond?
Well, I mean, there has been an improvement. There's no doubt about that. But the opening night of the competition, when Hull KR destroyed their nearest and dearest rivals in the black and whites, was a warning shot for how the season may, of course, ended up panning out. But you look down the listed names that have departed: Tex Hoy, Brown, Pele, Ockenbaugh, Scott. There's a few more in there if you include Matty Russell and Joe Bullock, who, of course, has just been far too many players coming and going to build any sort of continuity. But the crazy part about it is that over the last couple of weeks, they have seemed to have got a little bit of groove together.
It's worth saying, since they hit rock bottom with that defeat to London, London's only win way back in May, they've lost games by 8 points, 6 points twice, 2 points, 14 points, 8 points, and they've beaten Wigan and Leeds in that run as well. So, as you say, big improvement. But they need to show some improvement with ball in hand. Sirenen's through. He's got support again from Dodd, and Lewis Dodd will go and score under the post for his second try. Saints' third try, and St Helens strike, and how right at the start of the second half. It was Sirenen's break, and Dodd on his shoulder once more, and that's a big score for Saints right at the start of this second half.
Well, it came off a devastating carry from the 31-year-old Curtis Sirenen, who just slices through some fragile defence. It was James Bell who lets the ball go out the back to Moses Mbai, and he snaps hard off his right foot, gets rid of a defender. Then Lewis Dodd and Robertson both in the picture. And Dodd collects an easy score. But it was the work here from the big back rower, who's been exceptional, in my opinion, since he's came to St Helens. And Lewis Dodd will be delighted with so far this afternoon. You talked about him being omitted from the squad. Well, he's back in. It's a good response as well. 2 tries to his name.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Try and make himself undroppable before he goes and plays in the NRL next year with South Sydney. As Tommy Makinson adds the extras, and Saints lead 16 points to 0.
You just get a sense that they might just turn it on in this second half. Defence there on the inside from Barmforth. Sirenin just gets rid of him with ease.
Stay behind, time's off.
Just a big fend.
Stay behind, please, lads.
And Dodd in support. It's a good score, that, from Saints.
Stay behind, boys.
So Walker gets us underway once more. Just taken in, just taken. This Moses in by, wasn't it? Might have thought about trying to put the boot out of play to get the penalty, but not worth the gamble. Saints leading 16-0, 5 minutes gone in the second half. It's always going to be difficult, isn't it, for Simon Grix and for Hull FC, just with all the disruption. You mentioned the players coming in and out. They've got, I think, 11 or 12 out injured.
I mean, the biggest thing for Grix is that when a game gets away from them, here at 16-0, another try, we could potentially see a 6 again call here. That won't help, but at 22-0, if it gets to that way, with nothing left to play for, Dodd slips the net.
Yeah, well, that was Denise Barmforth, the young man, a little bit of an experience. He just grabbed hold of Bell's leg, didn't he, as he was trying to get up. But it's not going to do any favours for his teammates. Saints in a hurry. Darryl Clark, Stevens, Moses Mbai, all wrapped up by Jake Truman. On the edge of that Hull FC 20, Clark once more. Dodd for Matt Whitley. And Whitley will have to take the tackle. Otherwise, he would have been penalised for obstruction. Bell once more, and that's a good pass to Stevens. Brought down by Moy and by Truman, but Saints are attacking once more. Clark. Oh. I think it's fair to say he made a mess of that.
Yeah, he did.
Clark. Ruined. Dives on the ball for Hull.
Yeah, Clark just tried to be cute there and tried to hide his kick with his eyes. And he lets go of the ball. He almost stands on it, Stuart. And you're right, Ruan just dives onto it. But another decent carry as well in that set from Noah Stevens. You just see him there playing the ball, and Clark gets the ball caught under his foot. But as a former front rower, I've liked what I saw from Stevens. I think he brings something a little bit different. And he doesn't shy away from carrying the ball.
Just 19 years of age. There's a lot of talented youngsters on that field from both sides. 7 minutes gone in the second half.
40. Tiaki, give 10.
Robertson will take the kick. And here is T. Ritson. St Helens bidding to end their worst ever losing run in Super League. 5 on the spin, beaten by Salford and Castleford and Wigan and Warrington, and then demolished by 46 points to 4 by Lee last weekend. On halfway.
It looks like there might be a double change coming here. The return of Joe Batchelor and Morgan Knowles. They're getting them back.
Yeah.
4. Move, you said. Back up, back. Goal 4.
Bell with the offload to Stevens again, the willing runner.
Move it. Back up. Hold Tiaki.
It is the last one, and they go the short side. Here is Dodd. Dodd puts a little kick through, and Barron takes it. can't get out from his own dead ball area, and it'll be a goal line dropout. But again, Lewis Dodd.
It's another neat little kick, Stuart, isn't it? He done one earlier in the first half, and it just creates more pressure. And it means that Hull FC are going to have to defend their own line once again.
10 seconds.
Bit of a carbon copy to how the last 20 minutes went in the first half. FC are on the back foot at the moment.
Well, Lewis Dodd on a hat-trick. He's scored 2 tries on 4 occasions for St Helens, but never a hat-trick. I wonder if this is the day. We shall see. Here is Joe Batchelor. 2 months out. And by inside it goes for Blake. Ruan, young Leon Ruan with a really good tackle, a crucial tackle. Darryl Clark goes on his own and scores. It looked like he was going to be stopped, and then it looked like he was going to be stopped again, but he wouldn't have any of it. And Darryl Clark goes over for what will probably be a match-winning try for St Helens, and try number 99 of Darryl Clark's career.
Yeah, I mentioned a few moments ago that this game could potentially get to 22-0 in the blink of an eye. And it's off the back of quick rucks. And Bamford, he tries to put a shot in on Darryl Clark, but he doesn't stick. It's a lazy left arm, it's a lunge of a play. He needs to be wrapped up here, Clark. But his upper body strength just rides the tackle, and he gets over, much to the delight of those travelling fans, straight in front of them. And Paul Wellens, Matty Smith, Laurent Fraser-New, well, they'll probably end up smiling tonight because they know that the horrible run of 5 Super League losses in a row is on its way to becoming an end.
For a little while anyway. A Saints win will put them back into 4th place in Super League. That they travelled up yesterday and stayed overnight to prepare.
Well, it doesn't get any easier, Stuart. We've got Salford at home, of course. We'll see them in action at around 5:30 as they take on the Leeds Rhinos, fighting for that top 6 spot. And then, of course, Wigan at Magic Weekend. The next 2 weeks could be pivotal for St Helens.
22-0 as Makinson has the extras. But Darryl Clark's been impressive this afternoon.
Yeah, this just came into the game, and it's off the back of the work that everybody's doing before him. He's one of the most devastating runners from 9. That's the reason why they brought him in, to take over James Roby. A huge, huge task for Clark. But I think he's been another one of those promising, shining lights in season 2024 for St Helens.
So Walker gets us underway again, and Saints with 2 tries in this second half. 22-0 it is now, and it's been a brave, battling performance from Hull FC. They've just given away a penalty, and it's young Bamford again. Their backs are to the wall, aren't they?
Stay behind, boys, please.
They had a fantastic game last week with Bamford. He's come up with a couple of sloppy plays defensively here in this second half. But again, another one of those players who will learn from this experience. His 8th game in a row now. The contract extension signed last week, another 12 months for him. He's shown some promise this season, and that's the reason why they've extended that contract.
Back to St Helens. Brad Fash back on the field for Hull.
Move, Brad! Hold now, hold.
Dodd and Robertson.
He's good on his feet, isn't he?
He's elusive.
Move! Don't go with Jordan!
As is this man, James Bell.
It's just quick, isn't it? It's quick in and around the ruck.
Yeah, very much speeding things up, St Helens. Oh, great ball inside. Batchelor goes for the line. He went to offload as well to Blake. Just couldn't get the ball away, right on that try line. Last one.
Oh, big tackle that.
It was.
That was a huge, huge tackle.
Sirinen. It was Briscoe, wasn't it, on Sirinen? What a hit.
Well, it had to be as well, with the big Australian arriving at pace. It just stops him dead.
Stand down, one. On the 10, hold. Joe, you're off, Joe.
13 minutes gone in the second half.
Go early now. Hold, Joe. Better, mate, better.
The Helens' losing run looks like it's coming to an end.
Move. Family man.
They've won 15 out of 16 against Hull SC in Super League, 15 out of the last 16. Their only defeat actually came last season when Hull won by 34 points to 6, which was arguably their best performance of 2023. But it looks like Saints are going to be back winning today. That was Truman with a little kick over. Ball bounces backwards. It was worth a gamble, I guess. Picked up by Lewis Dodd, and Saints will get the ball in good field position once more.
Yeah, just trying, aren't they? With 22-0 down, you can be forgiving them for doing that, trying to chase points under scoreboard pressure. A kick over the top there for Barron. Bats it down, and Lewis Dodd collects. And it's St Helens who are on the ascendancy once more.
Makinson.
Release him. Hold.
Eventually plays the ball. Clark. Bell once more. Well, they're looking dangerous now every time they get into Hull territory, don't they? It was Batchelor brought down. Here is Bell. He's been more and more influential, hasn't he, in the second half, James Bell. Clark again. Morgan Knowles couldn't hang on to it. It was the last one. Ball goes to ground. Hull survives. 25 minutes to go. Saints leading 22-0.
Yeah, Darryl Clark just trying to get some joy through the front door. And Morgan Knowles just takes a little look at Ruan just there. The passage around his shoulder as well. And he spills it.
One. Move, Morgan. Hold, Matt. Hold, James, now. Hold. Two. Move. That'll do, boys. Hold.
They've just not been able to really threaten, have they? So we just remember that one time in the last minute, I think, of the first half, when they were that close to the Saints line.
Yeah, but that's just about it, isn't it? I mean, Jack Walker threatened slicing through on the last tackle run. And another penalty given here away, a yardage penalty. I think that's 3 or 4 times they've done that. And whilst it may not hurt them in this game, with some of the bigger games that they've got to come,
Yep, penalty for Hull. Ben Davis holding on too long in the tackle. You can hear the referee, Liam Moore, said, I gave one down there for you for a similar offence. So, yeah. Well, there we have it. Didn't get any easier for Hull FC. Leeds and London, they play at Magic Weekend. Wigan, Carson and Leeds still to come. I mean, their season is finished.
Yeah.
It's all about planning for next season and beyond.
It's almost a pre-season within the remaining of the season, if you like. A chance to find out who's up for it, who's up to task for next year.
Do not dive, Morgan.
Morgan Smith there going down. You can hear Liam Moore say, do not dive, but an opportunity for Hull. Tweema Varvey picks it up. Ball goes back inside for Logan Moy.
Stand for him, Elijah.
Can they get a try? Can they get some points on the board? The offload.
Move. Hold. Okay.
For Moy was terrific from Tweema Varvey, but Walker gets up gingerly from that. Here is Truman now. Truman with a little kick forward. That was play, that.
Play on.
And Saints then get the ball back. I thought Hull had managed to grasp the ball back and would get 6 more.
Oh, that look high there as well.
Secondary contact.
T. Ritson just using his pace, skirting across the field. And it's too tempting for Ruan. You just see here the left arm as he gets on the outside of him. He can't resist. And he catches Ritson high.
Cheers, mate.
Jake Burns is on for St Helens. Only his second appearance, deputising for Darryl Clark, who's just having a rest.
Yeah, there's no point risking Clark. He looked like he's just carrying a little bit of a limp there. And T. Ritson just getting some running repairs. But yeah, you're right, Jake Burns, only his second appearance, of course. He was an on-playing sub following his debut against Castleford, and he hasn't been in the squad since. And he gets a second opportunity tonight, or this evening, sorry.
You get me? Cheers, Marcus. Penalty, yeah.
Well, we're approaching the hour mark.
Okay, boys.
St Helens leading 22-0. They were 10-0 up at half-time. 2 more tries in the second half from Lewis Dodd and from Darryl Clark.
Back up, boys, please. Hold.
Here is Whitley.
One.
Well, Carl was mentioning it. It's a tough old month, isn't it, for St Helens? Salford at home, then Wigan at Magic, then Hull KR, the current league leaders, and then away trips to Huddersfield and then to Warrington, who turned Saints over twice already this season. And by Blake.
Third, move now! Hold, boys, hold. Hold, Brad.
Bell involved in most things, finds Batchelor.
Move! Up at square.
About 12 yards away from the Hull FC line. Burns at dummy half. Yeah, that may well be a penalty. I think it was a leg tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brad Fash there. A late shot on James Bell.
Well, Liam Moore had a look at it straight away. Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, lets the ball go there. Just turns his right shoulder into him. Can't resist. Started the game brightly, did Brad Fash. And all it is a penalty, no more.
Let me do.
Absolutely.
You don't know what's coming, I do.
Absolutely, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to look after our players, maybe.
May have been a clash as well.
Let's have a look at the second bit, please.
There is Brad Fash. We may well be just having another look at it, the video referee, Marcus Griffith.
Yeah, you just heard there Liam Moore just wanting to have a little look at that incident as well. He has the first infringement in his eye line on Fash on Bell. But it's this second one that they're looking to look.
Morgan Smith.
I think it's Ed Chamberlain.
Queen of Harvey. Chamberlain.
Brad.
The Dodd's all right. Hopefully Ed Chamberlain is okay too.
Yeah. The ball's gone.
Right.
Hit him late, which causes significant flexion of the neck. Mate, that's a sin bin.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Brad Fash never wants to hold back, is he?
Morgan.
10 minutes in the sin bin. The referee just going to have a word with the two captains.
Brad's leg causes significant neck. That's the sin bin. Second instance has been reviewed. There's nothing in that, okay? As captain, it's been good so far. Let's just maintain that for the last 20 minutes or so. Cheers, boys. Appreciate it. You know, it's the first
Yeah, good referee. Perhaps having a word with Jordan Lane and with Morgan Knowles.
Yeah, just wait there, please.
Ed Chamberlain is going off after that clash, I think, with Lewis Dodd. I don't know if it was a clash of heads. But St Helens now are hunting down more points.
I'm not sure that warrants a yellow card. But it matters none because Saints are 5 metres away with Dodd.
Yep.
Onto him by
trying to get the ball out 2 yards away from the try line. Brad Fash is in the sin bin. Burns at dummy half. Ball goes back and picked up by Whitley on the bounce. Just manages to hang on, but Saints losing about 10 yards there. Burns will go on his own from dummy half. Played for Saints reserves, you know, and he was impressed Paul Wellens enough to give him a contract. Whitley will score. I don't think that he'll score any easier tries. He just twisted and turned and put the ball down, Matt Whitley, and Saints extend their lead to 26 points to 0. But it really was a simple score for Matt Whitley in St Helens.
Yeah, not the happiest of returns from Matt Whitley last week, playing in that side that lost 46-4. But he scores a nice try here. And it all came about through the sin binning of Brad Fash. The late contact on Bell just puts him in the field position, and Harry Robertson and Matt Whitley, just watch how he uses his body here to get on the outside of Leon Ruan. He just catches the ball, spins, rolls away. And you're right, Stuart, it was a simple try in the end. 26-0 is a healthy score.
Running repairs to Tommy Makinson's boots. That's the game, and Saints are going to win this. After 5 consecutive defeats, it's going to be a very, very welcome 2 points, which will push them.
Well, it puts
them
them
the moment fourth in the table.
It puts them fourth,
and it puts the pressure on the surrounding side.
Exactly. That fourth, with troops coming back, looks much healthier. It looks much healthier if you're a Saints fan. It looks much healthier if you're a Paul Wellens, and it looks much healthier if you're a St Helens player as well.
Well, as you well know, Kyle, from your career, long and varied as it has been, it's all about confidence, it's all about belief, isn't it? And Makinson adds the extras, and it's 28 points to 0 with 18 minutes to go.
And crucially, it's all about timing. St Helens over the last sort of 4 or 5 seasons have found themselves right at the very, very top of the Betfred Super League, and in big games, and an unfamiliar territory where they're at now, heading into this one this afternoon at 6th. But they know, and those fans know, that if they can get troops back, and everybody else in the competition will fear them, Stuart. But for now, they have to address the here and now, and it's 28-0, and they're doing everything right so far.
I think they're hoping as well that big Alex Walmsley won't be too far off a return.
Well, there's not just him, there's many more, isn't there? And they all play a part in what has been a juggernaut of a machine.
Release! Play it. Goal 2.
Matt Whitley with the try. A 5th try for St Helens, and his first score since he's actually scored 3 in the opening 2 rounds of the season against London and Huddersfield. But he was out for 9 weeks with a shoulder problem. As Kyle mentioned, it's all about getting bodies back, isn't it? Here is Robertson. Does well once more. With ball in hand, he takes some stopping. Burns from dummy half. Finds Robertson once more. Twisting and a turn. Play on. Just checking with the referee whether he could carry on or not. Last tackle. Saints 22 yards out from the whole line. And Lewis Dodd will chip it towards the corner where Harvey Barron has been exceptional. The teenager for Hull, catching those high balls. He's been peppered all afternoon, and he hasn't dropped a single one.
Yeah, and just nice play there from Ritson as well. We saw his first attempt on Barron. He gives the penalty away. There's a knock on here, and you fancy and you sense another try coming. But Ritson, he just pulls out, allows Barron to catch that ball, but it's the next play where they make the mistake. St Helens, we've got a scrum here.
It is. The ball just bobbling out of his grasp. Carlos Trivabavi. Well, they're in the season. Saints won by 58 points to 0. 28 points to 0 here.
Standards of these scrums, boys.
I think that scoreboard's going to increase in this next set. I do.
10 seconds, boys. Pack down, Saints.
Brad Fash is still off the field in the sin bin for 10 minutes. They've only scored 1 try whilst he's been off the field. Burns as they go to the right-hand side, and Bai finds Robertson.
1. Move! Hold the 10. Hold.
Briscoe and Martin busy. Short side. And Bai and Sirinen.
2.
Bachelor.
Move straight out now! Hold.
10 yards out, right in front of the post. Morgan Knowles.
3rd. Move! Out we come. Goal 3rd.
Burns on his own! And there we have it. What a moment for young Jake Burns in only his second appearance for St Helens. And they all go to celebrate with the young man. He was given a contract on the back of some impressive performances in the reserves, and a moment he will never, ever forget. A first try for St Helens, and they get another one, and they stretch the lead by 32 points to nil. But that will be a special moment for young Jake Burns.
Yeah, I just felt that that try again was coming. I just saw the body language from the mistake from Tuamavavi. Well, Jake Burns with a show and a goal gets rid of Yusuf Aydin. Leon Ruan just heads out. And just look at all the players that come flooding in. That's good signs when you think that this squad, its metal, its mental capability, its togetherness have been tested over the last couple of weeks.
Well, after those 5 consecutive defeats, how are you marking Saints out of 10?
Well, I think the second half has been much better than the first, but it took them about 20 minutes to get going. I don't think that this performance today would trouble too many of the 1, 2, 3 sat at the top in Hull KR, Wigan and Warrington. But there's improvement, and there's a change perhaps in a feel-good factor off the back of this win. 32 registered points, but nothing against them as well. With players coming back, Stuart, makes them a different beast.
Well, makes it 34 points to nil. I guess in any team, though, as you mentioned in the first half, when you've been on a bad losing run, a win is a win is a win.
Exactly. Well, let's not get carried away here. We know where Hull FC are at, but let's be delighted in this moment for the youngster, Jake Burns. He epitomises hard work, determination.
Yeah, and again, another young man who's, I guess, sending out a message to his coach, keep me in the squad. Jack Walker goes for the short kick-off. It's a good take from Bell. Watched it well. We have still 13 minutes to go. And St Helens have scored 24 points in this second half so far. 4 tries, 4 goals. Here's Parsi on the charge.
Release him! Goal free.
Allowed too much space again. Bell gets out the offload to Burns.
4. Move, Carlos!
They're looking for more points, aren't they? Dodd and Knowles. Here is Robertson. Still going.
5.
Slips, not for the first time this afternoon.
Come on, mate.
Last one for St Helens. And By goes towards the corner. Ball is not back. Not back again. I think Saints were offside in the chase, weren't they? Yeah, you can hear Liam Moore.
And then he's inside the 10. Had an effect on the play. Touches the
It's
ball.
Harry Robertson.
Yeah,
They're saying he's offside. Yeah. Just keep your eye on the red scum cap there. He's in front. And when Makinson bats that ball back, he's inside the 10 metres. So he's offside. I think St Helens will probably fancy themselves grabbing another 2 scores here, Stuart. I think they'd like that. Brad Fash, though, a costly sin bin and 2 tries conceded in that space.
Move! Score now! Goal 1.
And Briscoe. Well met there. Everybody getting back behind the ball off that half break from him.
Well, I guess for Hull, just to get some points on the board, some consolation. Briscoe limps.
Even then, though, Stuart, though, they know that they've been second best in this contest.
With a big call, as you well know, from being a player, when you're in this situation and the opponents haven't scored, you do everything in your power to make sure that they don't get anything in the last 10 minutes or so. You want to keep that big fat 0, don't you?
I remember a game that me and you covered as they look to move now to the left edge. And a sloppy pass on the end that rolls over. But I think it was London Broncos when they racked up 50, but they conceded right at the death, and that was the bugbear of Paul Whelan. So, you know, coaches will always be happy with attack, of course they will. But over the last 5 weeks, when St Helens have been beaten on the scoreboard 5 times, the 0 will be really, really pleasing for him.
Brad Fash is back for Hull FC. 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Okay, yeah, go.
Don't forget, Salford against Leeds to come. 25 past 5, half past 5 kickoff. Salford looking to keep their place in the top 6. Leeds looking to close in even further on the top 6. That's to follow this.
Yeah, it's all on.
It's an offload again. Here's Burns. Stevens. Powerful young man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Third,
Awkward.
Morgan Knowles.
It's a good ball for Passy.
Passy on the chance! Ignatius Passy with a blockbusting run, and they won't stop him from that distance. And Passy, powerful, and Passy, perfection. And Passy gets the try, and Saints lead 38-0.
Yeah, Ignatius Passy scored a try against Warrington Wolves a couple of weeks ago and gets his second. We'll take about Morgan Knowles. That's how important it is having him back. Just look how straight and square, isolating people, using his big men around him to create breaks and tries. Morgan Knowles, he just squares up Aiden. Short, soft pass for the big front row, Ignatius Passy, who just carries that hard and gets a brilliant try. He'll be telling everyone when he gets home that was from 80 metres out. But it was just direct. And smiles all round there in the Saints camp.
Please, Tommy.
Yeah, again, Liam Moore telling Tommy Makinson to get on with it. 8 minutes to go. I suppose every point could be precious as well. You remember last year with Catalan, Wigan and St Helens all on the same number of points. St Helens were edged out on points difference, finished third, and in the end it may have contributed to the fact that they didn't get the home semi-final, did they? And they were beaten in that dramatic finale. And Sam Tompkins try in Perpignan. So points difference may yet count. There's 2 more points, and Saints lead by 40 points to 0.
Well, I think one thing St Helens have got around those teams that are in and around them and threatening them is they have a huge points difference. But this play here, middle forwards combining. I'm delighted there for Ignatius Passy on this, his 8th appearance from that horrific injury. He's had to build up his game time, build up his minutes. And he gets himself a second try of this season.
Forward off Saints.
Yeah, Hull are going to get the ball back. Just had a message through from our esteemed colleague Terry O'Connor. Jake Burns' dad, you may remember this, played for Oldham in the early 90s, a standoff, and actually went on the 1991 tour to New Zealand playing the junior Kiwis, playing the likes of Ruben Wicke and Stephen Kearney. So young Jake Burns here with his first try comes from good stock.
Yeah, his dad will be delighted with a try on his second appearance of his senior career.
Is there going to be a try for Hull SC though? Trailing 40-0, and they get a 6 again. Ben Davis giving away the set restart. 40 points to 0, but Hull are threatening. They deserve something.
2, move, hit this line, Joe. Hold. 2.
Truman.
Obstruction,
yeah.
With ball in hand.
I was just going to say, when Truman released the ball, we'll have another look at this.
Yeah, I think it's Leon Ruan on Moses Mbai. The play goes out the back. Liam Moore rightly cut, pulls it back for a penalty. He felt probably that was the best chance of FC getting over the line.
Back up, boys, please.
The crowd are just shy of 10,000 inside the MKM this afternoon. It's St Helens who are going to...
Move now!
Well, they're going to break the spell, aren't they?
Hold.
Yeah. 40 points to 0. A huge confident boost. But again, I must stress that there's bigger challenges ahead. Ignatius Parsi now releases that pass. And Morgan Knowles just looks to carry onto Noah Stevens. And again, gets his hands on the ball.
Move now!
Well, with 5 minutes to go, Kyle Amor will be choosing his Betfred player of the match. So we'll give him a moment or two to think about that. Can he get one right for once?
Move! Get
Probably not.
Have a think, Kyle, and we'll come back to you. We'll see if St Helens can get some more points on the board with Robertson.
Still third.
Good offload for
offload.
Burns. Burns again. Burns again! Burns with a lovely try. What an afternoon it's turning out to be for young Jake Burns. Only his second appearance at St Helens, and would you believe it? He scored 2 tries. That was a cracking solo effort, and Saints now lead by 44 points to 0.
Yeah, it was an outrageous offload there from Harry Robertson. And the next wave, the next cab's off the rank for St Helens. They shine this afternoon. Jake Burns gets his second score. Lewis Dodd with an inside ball for Robertson. But just look at the offload here. Dumps it out the back. Burns waiting and Burns finishing it off. Beautiful score. And that takes Saints to 44. Kick to come right in front of the sticks. Wellens will be delighted here. The youngsters stand up.
Drop me if you dare.
Well, it won't harm his cause. And those fans will be delighted as they head back over the M62 with something to cheer about after a month or so of misery.
You went through, I think you were talking before, you were in the Saints team that lost 4 on the spin,
Yep.
and it was just all about digging yourself out of that hole somehow.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult because the club is so used to being in big games, winning trophies, and you feel it from everywhere you go in the town, when you walk through the doors of the training base. So when you're playing on a Friday night, those small fans demand a lot.
Makinson with another successful kick, 46 points to 0. Saints have got 3 minutes to try and get to 50 points. But what an afternoon, never to be forgotten afternoon for young Jake Burns.
Yeah, just keeps his legs going.
Stay behind,
It was a
boys.
good offload though, wasn't it, from Robertson?
Contact.
A penalty given away here.
We'll take your pick. No. Escort. Wait, please. What do you want to do? What's that? 10 set.
Well, Hull with another chance maybe, with just less than 3 minutes to go.
1. Move! Back now. Ball now.
Fash
Good shot there.
hit hard by
Hold!
Batzer and by
Release
Morgan
it!
Knowles.
Hold!
Morgan
Hold!
Knowles, who has missed 9 games with a groin injury.
Third. Move
And
the
your
ball.
Betfred player of the match is.
Hold again.
I think you've just mentioned him there. Look, it was so difficult this afternoon because there's been a number of star performances in patches, in glimpses. Of course, Jake Burns there just grabbing his 2 tries. Darryl Clark's been devastating. Curtis Siriden's carried the ball well. And Lewis Dodd as well in there. But for me, Morgan Knowles just coming back into the fold, really just stiffening up that middle unit. And of course, just coming up with some nice subtle ball movements there. Our Betfred player of the match is the number 13, the captain here this afternoon, Morgan Knowles.
Truman puts the kick through, and is it a try right at the end for Jack Walker? Right at the end, and Hull got their consolation with less than 2 minutes to go. It's a try on the field for Liam Moore. Jack Walker has been a good player for Hull this afternoon. Truman and Walker at halfback have tried really hard. Have they combined to score right at the death? The video referee, Marcus Griffiths.
It's tackle 5, we have an on-field decision, a try. It comes from a kick, so we will start with pausing it on the foot. OK, so everybody to the left of the kicker at this point is onside. So we'll take camera 9 to see when he gains possession. So, at this point, Walker has the ball in both hands and is in possession of the ball. He maintains in possession. Does his hand remain on that ball? Yeah, so the ball remains in the grip. I have a decision.
So there we go. Consolation for Hull in the very last minute. Made by Jake Truman and scored by Jack Walker. It'll be hugely disappointing for St Helens to concede, but you can't deny Hull at least one try for their efforts. Walker gets a try, and it's 46 points to 4.
Yeah, Jack Walker there, just having the final say in this game. It was a neat little kick through. He just chases hard, competes, beats Blake to the ball, and young Robertson can't do anything about it. Jack Walker collects and puts the ball down there. And the kick here to come, 46-4 at the moment. I think it's Jordan Lane. He just takes the gloss off what Paul Wellens would have felt was a full, solid, polished performance.
There is the kick from Jordan Lane into the last minute. It's 46 points to 6. Hull are on the board, but Saints are easily going to retain the Steve Prescott Cup with that 58-0 victory earlier in the season at the TW Stadium. By the way, Brad Fash, Jack Walker, the try scorer. Brad Fash was the 14th Hull player sin bin this season, more than any other team. They've also had 4 red cards, so
discipline's been a problem for them, Stuart. But going back to that try there, we talked about that game against London, which subsequently was the last time that St Helens, of course, won. It was a 52-6 score, and it was a try right at the end of that game that just took the gloss off that win down in the capital.
One. Move now!
yeah, last minute again, wasn't it?
Hold again, hold. One.
But we're into the final few seconds. St Helens
Release him!
certainly dominating in terms of the ball and possession, and well, it took them 21 minutes to get some points on the board, and Hull were very much in it. It was a bit of an arm wrestle until that moment. A little tip over the top, and it's taken well by Blake. There may yet be another try for St Helens. Wonga Blake still going, eventually will accept the tackle, and that is that. St Helens have broken the spell after losing 5 consecutive Super League games for the first time ever. They're back in the winner's circle. They turned in a dominant display, especially in the second half, with 36 points after leading by 10 points to 0 at half-time. And Morgan Knowles, the Saints captain, back in business, and he is our player of the match. And we'll be speaking to Morgan Knowles, and we'll be getting reaction as well when we come back, just to confirm St Helens winning by 46 points to 6, and they go 4th in the Super League table.